Started bending like Beckham.
Easily beautiful, can I have a word? Hey. Promise, no funny business.
What car is this?
Yours. Oh, look how long we saved for our mortgage. See, look, have a seat, baby, have a seat. I'm telling you, done the maths. And then you'll see that we're good. You want to drive?
Yes, okay. I want to drive.
Yes. It's my babes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Team good. There as well. He trying to twist him some. Please, Aisha, look. I had to take her. No, it's not enough. I know that. I'm working.
Nah.
Something for you. Yeah.
After the setting changes to South London, our heroes are introduced. Delivery guy Mike is devoted to Dion and has a great love for her. After buying a house, he intends to pop the question and surprises her with a convertible, despite his financial limitations. Despite having a difficult time making ends meet, Andre, a call center worker, gives his son AJ everything. Even though he gets him a new iPhone, his ex-girlfriend Aisha is not impressed. Sadly, Andre's DBS check results in his termination from the company. In the meanwhile, Taza, who took over as gang boss when Crazy was imprisoned, has difficulties. Taza gets stabbed when his rival gang, the Sixers, commanded by the intimidating Chucky, picks fights with him. Friends stop by Taz's recovery room to see how he's doing. He promises not to go out until Chucky and his friends are rendered inoperable, even though he is still recovering from his wounds. In another hospital room, Mike's mother Tina has sickle cell disease, but he is not impacted. When Victoria from Health and Unity stops by, she boldly declares that they have the best facilities to handle her issue. Rod, a young drug dealer who tries to sell marijuana to our heroes but isn't very successful, completes our cast. He works with his pal Spud, but it appears like their good fortune is running out. Dion's motives are still a mystery, but she is searching non-stop for Jasmine, the kidnapped girl who has disappeared without trace. Unaware that his mother is the exact prisoner whose life was taken by the guards, Taz's rage explodes towards her in the meanwhile. Taz's predicament deteriorates as Chucky drops a vicious diss track and his group tries to force Mike to pay a turf charge. But when Mike says no, there's a violent altercation in which Taz stabs him. Mike is thrust into a time travel, revisiting the same moment Taz's crew approached him, while his eyes shine with a golden hue. He uses a more accommodative strategy this time, and he leaves with only a warning.
Yeah, with his car, you know, I ain't even starting.
I want 10 balls. Do you want this?
King.
You're on Queen's Drive.
Oh, Scotland.
Where you going?
Do you know the difference?
Fiercely not.
Anyway,
I thought you was going out.
Sam, it was a family emergency.
So what, can text you, but he can't pick up his phone. What's then?
What?
I'll see you in a bit. All right. John, they haven't. Just pick up your fucking phone.
Rod gets stuck when his car won't start and the bus leaves without him in another scene. His eyes glowing eerily, he finds himself in Edinburgh in an instant as he makes a desperate attempt to grab it. Sabrina's eagerness for her romantic meeting with Kevin is dashed when he makes fun of her. Charlene goes with her when she finds him with another lady. Sabrina, broken-hearted, tries to get up, but Kevin holds her instead. Her eyes blaze with an unearthly brilliance at that instant, pushing Kevin away telepathically. Andre finds himself in a difficult situation where he cannot afford to support AJ because of the company's overdue salary. Feeling a wave of wrath surge through him, he strikes the ATM, breaking it and sending money flying in all directions, all while being recorded by a security camera. Mike was thrown off for the whole of the night by the bizarre déjà vu feeling, but Dion's kind consolation and contagious laughter helped him to regain consciousness. Feeling encouraged, he proceeded with his suggestion, appreciative of her steadfast backing. They were ecstatic as they reveled in a private moment, but then Mike's eyes brightened abnormally and he disappeared. He emerged into a futuristic scene where he, Rod, Sabrina, Andre, Taza, and a resurrected Mike faced off against shadowy, hooded opponents. When future Mike looked at him, time appeared to stop. He led present Mike to a quiet cemetery and said that the violent incidents had occurred just 3 months after the proposal. He spoke somberly, explaining that only present Mike could put an end to the current pandemonium. They stopped in front of Dion's grave, a sobering reminder of her tragic passing on July 9, 2024, and the program came to an end.
You're alright. You're alright. Did you actually see my body leave?
Where did you go?
In a minute, AJ.
You want to try some proper 10 out of 10?
It's beautiful.
You 5 of these.
Kevin!
Police?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
We need to go.
Bars and shit.
Here means you can stop them. It's a head start to find them before they Andre, Sabrina, Rodney. Taser, Andre, Sabrina.
What the fuck are you doing, bro? Do you know what time?
The very first scene of the show takes viewers back to the last time they saw the heroes. Michael Lasaki Brown, Tosin Cole, who is being sought after by a distraught Dion Ofri, Adisdayo Adedayo, materializes out of thin air. She becomes even more alarmed when he says he was in the future. When Andre Simpson, Eric Kofi Abreva, gets home from the ATM, he chuckles and stuffs the money into a box in his room. Right now, it seems that only Rodney Cullen, Calvin Dember, is attempting to replicate his feat of running up a hill. He fails to do so and ends up sitting on the curb when he approaches Angus Stobie, a prospective customer, who is smoking a joint. While Charlene Clark, Rake Sirajo, laughs and jokes that Sabrina knocked Kevin, Junior Afalabi Salokan out, Sabrina Clark, Nadine Mills is attempting to wake him up. They decide to depart, Kevin still asleep, as distant sirens start to sound. Dion seems exhausted from her previous panic attack, and as she falls asleep in Mike's arms, he recalls a little more of his encounter with his future self. In addition to giving him the names of Andre, Taza, Josh Tadeku, Rodney, and Sabrina, the future Mike also threatens to kill Dion if any of them pass away. Mike suddenly stops by Gabriel, Michael Salami, later that evening and tells him everything, including Dion's estimated date of death. He puts it all down to pre-wedding nerves, even though Gabriel seems to be taking him seriously. 2C, Andy Thompson interrupts Taza as he is ready to tell Screamer, Mikira Oji, about his abilities as they are watching another of Chucky's Digger D-Dis postings. 2C displays to Dots, Xavier Russell and Tiny, Akai Coleman, a new post that was uploaded 5 minutes ago. The Tower Boys get on their bicycles and sprint to the post's location in the hopes of sending Chucky packing. With Chucky and the Sixes unable to be seen, the Tower Boys vent their resentment against Tyrone, Joshua Cameron. As soon as Tyrone asserts that he is not linked, Taza becomes weary of the criticism. One of the Tower Boys doesn't discover a post with Tyrone and Chucky until Tyrone is leaving. The Tower Boys are ready to catch up to Tyrone despite his early advantage when an unexpected throng of Sixes materializes. The Tower Boys split off during the subsequent chase, and Taza soon finds himself trapped by Chucky and many Sixes. When Taza draws his sword and assumes a battle position, the Sixes cannot contain their laughter. The moment he turns invisible and begins slashing him, the laughing stops. Just as Taza chops off the side of Chucky's throat, Screamer reappears on his bike. 2 other males who are only silhouettes have also witnessed Taza using his abilities, according to a nearby surveillance video, in addition to Screamer.
Yeah, bro. Tingling. Went to go check in the mirror. I was gonna tell you yesterday. No one can fuck with us. Why the fuck we always broke?
This thing here is taking us to the next level.
Money, power, and respect.
Or respect.
Hurry up, bro. What's my smiling and shit, bro?
Your taste, quick one.
I can control it now, though.
Ooh, right there.
Ghost. I hear that, but you lot ain't. My guy only does bits though, so...
Yeah?
Bella,
Me bags, you know we ain't got that.
But we've got the client. Yeah, I just want to go home, to be honest.
I know.
What?
Look. Okay.
Had it all planned.
Why that stabbed you? Because what the bell? Why can't you just leave it alone? Why can't you?
Tazza visits Screamer almost simultaneously, where he also runs across Romy, Teddy Stevenson Tuite and Jackie, Carol Moss. What follows indicates not only that Tazza has become more adept at controlling his powers, but also that Screamer has been dodging him. Soon later, Tazza reveals his abilities and makes preparations to seize control alongside the other members of the Tower Boy team. It seems like he wants to begin by experiencing the void created by Chucky's departure. Dion brings Mike to the park where he proposed to her in an attempt to lift his spirits. At first, everything seems to be going smoothly, until she mentions that he needs to find Tazza. The chat that follows implies that he hasn't informed her about her passing and isn't telling her right now. Mike approaches 2C and another Tower Boy, asking to meet with Tazza, while they're on the phone setting up a meeting with Masha, Andre Dwayne. They hesitantly agree to give Tazza his number even though they instantly know him as the delivery driver. Mike's life quickly takes a turn for the worst when a group of sixes arrive and start firing. Before long, he is alone himself with them and ready to be shot when he appears to pause time and draw the bullet from thin air. Shortly afterward, he finds himself transported back to his living room, where he collapses. The meeting between 2C and Screamer and Masha gets off to a rough start since none of them understands how to assess the product's quality. Masha's discovery that they were supposed to be facing the brick doesn't exactly make things better. As a result, they eventually depart from the conference with nothing. That is how it seems, at least, until Tazza materializes with the stuff and Masha leaves. Even though Dion is relieved when Mike wakes up again, as soon as she finds out what caused him to teleport, she panics once again. When he says he needs to go back but won't explain why, it doesn't assist his cause. Although he tells her he won't bother her, he texts 2C at 3 in the morning to tell her he will be back. At their party, everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves, with the exception of Tiny. Tazza calls him aside, and it's obvious that he's afraid of retaliation because Masha is his cousin, in addition to feeling left out for not being included in the plan. He receives assurances from Tazza that he and Masha will be safe. A significantly darker note is set for the episode's conclusion when Masha arrives driving many cars packed with people, including Crazy.
Nah, man. He won't even... I ain't see them take it, but I can only... Speak again. I fucking dare you. My worker's cousin, E-lined it. One-on-one.
So-called gangsters of today.
Actually, let me get this one.
Me what?
Little Jaffa cake, you step out of it.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up, kid. Punch him up.
Are you fucking mad? No smoke. No fucking...
Fuck up, man. Where you going?
I'm the youth, bro.
Didn't have to do that, you know? A fight. Someone call a fucking ambulance!
Man, please.
And I said, how you feeling?
Yeah. To the sickle cell center, so I can't. Have a good day, yeah?
Walk me to the door.
Me. Okay, he's the 8th.
Hey, listen,
Why? But I've issued a warning to...
Can we understand?
That's my daughter. People are coming after her. Be back when she feels better. I'm beginning to get worried.
Mrs.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sorry.
You okay? Yeah, I'm just...
I've never experienced such incompetence.
Much? It's just your regular dose. said I'm fine.
I don't know when it's going to happen, so I can't even...
You can move things.
I searched...
Even if... Look, I'm going out tonight.
Get it, though. Like, how did Crazy get out?
Yeah, my brother.
But be smart.
Shut up, man.
No, you shut.
Oh my God, this guy.
What are you doing? Who's
support where we're needed.
Great to see you. You too. So, the transfusion rooms, please.
It's just
Get in the way of that.
I don't really remember him though. Did he die again?
You know, some other races get it too. Chill over a couple of times and you don't have no choice.
Bring my other controller so I can slap you off.
As Supercell Episode 3 begins where the last episode left off, we already know there will be a major battle with Tazza at its core, and that is precisely what transpired. While Taz's plot is still brutal, it is also one of the most intriguing in the whole series, so Michael has some serious competition. Supercell gets off to yet another great start, quickly demonstrating that this is not something for the timid. Though there are hints of Michael and Dion's connection once more, it's vital to keep in mind that the show has other significant subplots as well. Sabrina is the title of Supercell Episode 3, and that's precisely what we get in this episode. As Supercell Episode 3 begins where the last episode left off, we already know there will be a major battle with Tazza at its core, and that is precisely what transpired. While Taz's plot is still brutal, it is also one of the most intriguing in the whole series, so Michael has some serious competition. Supercell gets off to yet another great start, quickly demonstrating that this is not something for the timid. Though there are hints of Michael and Dion's connection once more, it's vital to keep in mind that the show has other significant subplots as well. Sabrina is the title of Supercell Episode 3, and that's precisely what we get in this episode. Concerned Mrs. Amusan admits that Kemi fled because she was acting inhumanely and wanted to change. Kemi used to speak with her once a week, but he hasn't been in contact for the last 2 weeks. In another scene, Sabrina falls victim to an MRI scam and is taken aback to find that she's okay. She is still in a state of shock from her abilities, though, and this almost kills a patient. She flees in fear and nearly crosses the street when Andre intervenes to save her. But for now, that's the only way they communicate. It appears that Andre and AJ are enjoying themselves. The topic of Andre's father, who has sickle cell disease but he does not, comes up. Just a coincidence. AJ spots his buddies from Crazy's group as they make their way to Aisha's. Andre attempts to ask Braggs, the second dealer, to avoid AJ once he enters. He gets made fun of by the group, and as he leaves, his eyes sparkle. There are others they have enraged besides him. Tazza regrets Tiny's injuries, and the Tower Boys intend to murder Crazy. Michael arrives at the most inconvenient time and even teleports to establish his legitimacy. However, a furious Tazza has no desire to converse with him. Michael is anxious about this as he has to make his mother's appointment at the Health and Unity Center for her sickle cell therapy.
Nah, bro, sorry, I don't smoke.
Nah, cuz you're moving like a fed.
Still looking for some weed. Is that his name, Spudge, yeah? Looking. You're asking the...
Pizza's here if you're hungry.
I've only been on the roads a few days.
Girls.
Is it my fault people want to take? Thought I was innocent. Here I am. Bring her a little something.
Onyx.
Sabrina, just leave it.
Oi! I hope you don't think I forgot what you've done, dickhead.
I'm coming too then.
Bro. Man, I'm cool. Scared. This is Roxbury.
Then he focuses on Rodney, and we witness him shouting at Gabriel about how he should have listened to Rod when the young man tried to sell him some marijuana. Asking around in vain, Michael spends the entire day waiting at the location where he last saw Rod. Fortunately, though, someone eventually tells Michael to text Spud if he wants any cannabis. Rod is occupied in the meanwhile, showcasing his abilities to Spud. He even bumps his head, yet he gets well right away. He ends up attracting a sizable clientele by bragging that if he can't make the delivery in 5 minutes, he will give his items away for free. Spud warns him about the government catching him and doing experiments, but he ignores them. Spud turns out to be correct, as we witness the covert facility observing Rod through CCTVs and preparing to apprehend him. Sabrina, on the other hand, is still shook. Crazy, Charlene's violent ex-boyfriend, stops by, but her troubles don't stop there. I suppose there is a connection of some kind between all the superheroes after all. To Sabrina's dismay, Crazy showered Charlene with presents and compliments, and she gave in a lot. Onyx and Sabrina go along to watch Crazy, and they arrange to meet in Gabriel's club. In the meantime, Andre picks up John's automobile to finally demonstrate his abilities to his old co-worker. In another scene, Dion tries to inform Mike about Kemi and the posts she's seen on the internet about individuals with abilities and luminous eyes. Mike attempts to talk her off of checking into the whole matter because he fears that she will find out about her death. However, he takes the incorrect approach when he lashes out at her and leaves to see Rod. He reaches Rod in time to see him attacked by a cloaked figure brandishing a flame. Rod is taken aback as they teleport to Onyx. You guessed it, there are other people at Onyx. Sabrina is still not feeling well and is experiencing vertigo in the club's restroom. In the meanwhile, when Crazy makes fun of her, Charlene becomes interested in a man named Kadeem. Kadeem and Charlene flirt outdoors, but he becomes aggressive when she attempts to enter. He glows in the eyes and appears to levitate, but Sabrina tosses him against a wall, killing him quickly. When a tracker in his arm lights, the institution knows he's passed away. Supacell Episode 3 concludes with CCTV images of him spending his final moments with Charlene. Supacell Episode 3 keeps things interesting by having the ensemble cast pass each other by without ever really engaging. Mike is having a hard time keeping track of everyone as they cross paths every other day. As it turns out, Crazy is connected to Andre and Sabrina, so we even get additional links. In the meantime, Mike is unaware that Dion has brought him one step closer to Tazza.
Can you turn the music up, please? We need to get our story straight. And it's gonna kill us. It was self-defense.
Yeah, all I know is you text me saying you want to
And now it's here.
They're after you, not me. Comes back. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Alright, Dad.
What? You get told what to do, and that was the hardest part for me. Cussing me out.
Alright, I'll text you later.
Be some.
What you forget, man?
You multiple emails regarding an outstanding...
Mum house, you don't want to listen.
If we feel like we're in any danger.
Yeah?
Sorry, don't worry like that. We need to take cash payments.
Back to Sol.
I'm afraid not, sir.
Are you dead? That should cover everything.
Episode 4 of Supacell begins with Charlene and Sabrina running off. Sabrina wants to turn herself in even when Charlene reminds her that it was self-defense. While Charlene is asleep, Sabrina writes her a goodbye letter and heads to the station. However, she runs off when she realizes that the cops don't know about the murder. She heads to the crime scene and sees that the body is gone. She rushes home and takes back the letter. On to the man of the hour, or well, episode, Andre is getting ready for his big interview. AJ helps him and they even make plans to watch a movie after. However, some debt collectors show up and start creating a scene. Andre is upset when AJ volunteers his new iPhone and clothes to clear some of the debt. Andre stops him and pays off his debt by handing in all the cash he had stolen from the broken ATM. Meanwhile, Dion tries to talk to Jasmine's mother, who refuses to share anything. It cuts to Jasmine and the other captives being drugged as the doctors take their blood. Later, Dion's co-worker, Terry, shares that Jasmine has called and calls every week at the same time without fail. Just like Kemi, Taz's mother, the similarities don't end there, as Jasmine claims she will be back once she is normal. Dion catches on to this as well as she compares Jasmine and Kemi's missing person files. Elsewhere, Michael tries his hand with Rodney once more after he runs away from Onyx. Spud tags along and is excited about the idea of an Avengers team-up, but Rod is not interested in helping Michael. One reason is that his powers have disappeared. Back to Andre, he shows up at his big interview and decides to be honest. The reason he can't keep a job for long is that he hides his criminal records, and once the company does a background check, they let him go. And the only reason he has one was because he tried to give a lift to a friend when he was 18. Cops pulled him over and arrested Andre on finding the friend's drugs in his car. He hopes his honesty will win him points, especially since the boss is a black man, but no such luck.
Music up, please. We need to get our story straight.
We'll go work. Yeah.
You're late. Don't respect them.
Did him.
It's cool to make some serious money.
So if that's fine, I get that. It's part.
No, fuck.
Chill, little man. Dre, can we do this another time? Cause
Yeah, it's...
yeah. I'm gonna do it tonight.
When a disgruntled Andre goes to see John in Onyx, he is told to loot a trap house as retaliation against drug traffickers. In the adjacent booth, Michael becomes enraged with Gabriel for not being able to locate any of the other superheroes, while a concerned Andre mulls it over. Michael gets an idea when he goes over all the shipment receivers as Gabriel makes a joke about looking through the delivery database. After a string of unsuccessful attempts, he gets a call from Dion, who is furious with him over the disagreement. Taza, however, sees through Crazy's schemes to enlist him as his younger brother. The next time they meet each other, he vows to murder Crazy for forcing him to perform his dirty work. As Andre stands up at Jay for choosing to accept a lift from Braggs, Crazy's dealer, more links start to emerge. In an attempt to make some additional cash, he lures Ajay into going with him to a transaction. Naturally, Andre confronted his son to claim the trap house, which is, you guessed it, Crazy's. When Charlene discovers Sabrina's letter asking for her to quit up, she gets into an argument with her. Mike arrives at the precise moment carrying a box. He tries to talk to Sabrina about the future after recognizing her and discovering that she is preoccupied with her sister, who is acting petty by going to Crazy's. Michael reluctantly goes along with Sabrina. His mother calls him out of the blue, stating that she is in pain and that he must go since she has sickle cell disease. Before the girls can disclose that their father also suffers from sickle cell illness, he teleports. You know who else visits Crazy's? Spud. It turns out that Crazy is not thrilled that Rod has been selling on his territory. He sets up the bait by placing a massive order, but Spud comes up as Rod pouts about his lost abilities. Charlene pulls Sabrina inside to get some cannabis as Braggs is abusing Spud. The Tower Boys arrive at the same moment to murder Crazy. After a prolonged absence, a worried Rod regains his abilities and appears to see how his companion is doing. Andre also makes an appearance. Yes, he picked the same moment to break into the safe. He is nowhere to be seen while the Tower Boys battle Crazy's gang. We don't know much about the facility. Mike is still looking for everyone, and the other superheroes are having trouble getting by. We are aware that the facility is connected to sickle cell illness and health and unity, but that is all.
I think you need to see this.
I'm gonna attend to you.
Hey, come on, come on! Wait outside. Okay, Tina.
Last night. All right, so...
I want eyes on him all day. Let's see.
Might as well just wait. Yeah, I'm making... Then why is it he took Rachel...
Look after each other. Such a sweet young man.
Please.
When a disgruntled Andre goes to see John in Onyx, he is told to loot a trap house as retaliation against drug traffickers. In the adjacent booth, Michael becomes enraged with Gabriel for not being able to locate any of the other superheroes, while a concerned Andre mulls it over. Michael gets an idea when he goes over all the shipment receivers as Gabriel makes a joke about looking through the delivery database. After a string of unsuccessful attempts, he gets a call from Dion, who is furious with him over the disagreement. Taza, however, sees through Crazy's schemes to enlist him as his younger brother. The next time they meet each other, he vows to murder Crazy for forcing him to perform his dirty work. As Andre stands up at Jay for choosing to accept a lift from Braggs, Crazy's dealer, more links start to emerge. In an attempt to make some additional cash, he lures Ajay into going with him to a transaction. Naturally, Andre confronted his son to claim the trap house, which is, you guessed it, Crazy's. When Charlene discovers Sabrina's letter asking for her to quit up, she gets into an argument with her. Mike arrives at the precise moment carrying a box. He tries to talk to Sabrina about the future after recognizing her and discovering that she is preoccupied with her sister, who is acting petty by going to Crazy's. Michael reluctantly goes along with Sabrina. His mother calls him out of the blue, stating that she is in pain and that he must go since she has sickle cell disease. Before the girls can disclose that their father also suffers from sickle cell illness, he teleports. You know who else visits Crazy's? Spud. It turns out that Crazy is not thrilled that Rod has been selling on his territory. He sets up the bait by placing a massive order, but Spud comes up as Rod pouts about his lost abilities. Charlene pulls Sabrina inside to get some cannabis as Braggs is abusing Spud. The Tower Boys arrive at the same moment to murder Crazy. After a prolonged absence, a worried Rod regains his abilities and appears to see how his companion is doing. Andre also makes an appearance. Yes, he picked the same moment to break into the safe. He is nowhere to be seen while the Tower Boys battle Crazy's gang. We don't know much about the facility. Mike is still looking for everyone, and the other superheroes are having trouble getting by. We are aware that the facility is connected to sickle cell illness and health and unity, but that is all.
Tell me everything, so I feel like less of...
I promise I will explain everything.
You know what I'm saying, innit? It's Veronica.
Who? Where? What?
She's brave. She didn't at me.
No,
She just said, I'm a ass cut 6 chick.
Stop!
Well, please,
Lucky guy, come on, I see you with him all the time.
Look, your friend isn't... Sir, make sure you do.
Shah, where are
You see that yard over there?
For him? Oh, it's Joe. I better stay in the car then. I'm saying as well.
So what's your plan then?
My mate Spud, we're helping each other, aren't we?
After realizing each other's abilities, everyone flees Crazy's trap home in the opening scene of Supercell Episode 5. Concerned because 4 of their targets have made contact, the institution keeps an eye on them. In the hopes that Rod would bring them back together, they choose to follow him. Tina is in pain in the meanwhile, and it takes ages for the nurses to arrive. They do, and Michael is expelled. When he awakens, Dion leaves him a concerned message. He pledges to tell her everything and apologizes for everything. Rod is concerned that Spud, who was brought to the hospital, might not wake up. When he sees Sabrina, he begs her to look after Spud. After that, he goes to see his white mother. We discover that Rod's second spouse, Greg, is a bigot who has only lived with Rod's younger sister, Rachel, since Rod was 16. When he begs to remain with him till Spud wakes up, she says no, saying Greg won't approve. Then, as her supervisors assure her that her efforts have not gone unappreciated, we witness Sabrina receiving her promotion to senior nurse at last. Taza becomes enraged when Crazy fractures Grandma Amusan's arm in vengeance. After that, Crazy joins up with Charlene and leaves with a group of girls. She calls him out, feeling silly, but he chokes her and snatches the watch back from her. She grabs a kitchen knife and follows Crazy outside, calling Sabrina angrily to let her know that she is coming after him. In another scene, Dion informs Jasmine Johnson's parents about Michael's comparable abilities and eventually persuades them to assist. We find out that after Jasmine treated her father's sickle cell illness, 3 men kidnapped her.
careful. Don't know how long. Why the fuck you bring me here? Hey, hey.
Give me a minute!
All right.
He needs to get to a hospital right away.
We really get stuck here. Oh, mate.
I know what your job is. I hired you.
Someone must be helping.
Down your address, I can take you to the police. Oh my.
I'll pay money if I have to.
Mr. Johnson, you don't have to. Ashington Estate.
I think it's weirdo. I know nothing again. Putting our school back. She don't know.
Supercell's 6th episode opens with Mike freezing the men in the hoods. But Tazza seizes the opportunity to stab one, and the frozen creature unfreezes. Brings to mind a particular Star-Lord who was impatient to get the Infinity Gauntlet off the villain. Mike teleports Tazza away in order to stop him because he wants to prevent any bloodshed. Both Sabrina and Rod are outnumbered, a fireball strikes Rod. Mike arrives back on schedule, teleporting everyone to Sabrina's house. They fear that Rod may be burned, but he recovers right away. Ray, the facility's manager, observes the assault through the body cams of the masked men. Afterwards, he gives Jasmine the order to treat Andre and provide him a job offer. As long as Andre serves as one of Ray's agents, the so-called hooded guys, he will permit Andre to see AJ. Ray clarifies that Supercell is a sickle cell mutation and that his clinic aims to assist Supercell sufferers in controlling their abilities. Andre will collaborate with the other agents to bring in all of the infected individuals, whether they are dead or alive. In the meantime, Mr. Johnson tells Dion about his most recent conversation with Jasmine. Jasmine is hurting at the facility, and we can hear her cries for assistance. It turns out that Ashington Estate was the destination of the tracker Johnson had placed on her. But the institution threatened Jasmine, so he had to leave. He wants to save Jasmine by persuading Michael to teleport. Dion consents to forward the message, but she is unable to contact Mike. Fearing that he has been abducted, she searches Ashington Estate and goes to the location. Tazza is at odds with everyone at Sabrina's since his main goal is to exact revenge on Crazy for calling him to a town that evening. Saturina, certain that Crazy took Charlene hostage, searches for the location of a town. They drive to Ashington Estate when Rod informs her that a town is located there. Mike eventually phones Dion in the meantime, who is being tormented in a town by Braggs and the rest of Crazy's gang. As the dealers go, Mike teleports to her place in an instant. After their emotional reunion, Mike breaks the news of Dion's passing to her. In search of Charlene, Sabrina and Rod also arrive at that very moment. After getting into Dion's car, the four of them venture more into the dump that is a town, which is populated with dealers, addicts, and homeless people. It turns out that the young child they see dealing is none other than AJ.
That's what he said.
But like tomorrow. It's just that everything.
Stop Taser and Rodney from getting taken, and there's this.
This is God's will.
There's no God. Didn't. Came here for Dion.
It's in there, which means Charlene could be too.
Yeah.
No, today's not my day.
Go ahead.
Maybe there's.
Nose, off we go. Yeah?
He looks so young.
Put that taser you in the ground today. Where's this bitch guy? She's like, huh? What the fuck?
Max.
He took my sister. He hasn't told me where she is yet. Michael! Get up!
Ah, a baby.
Oh, let me get him in. Where's the fucking go?
said to bring them in alive. We'll come back for the rest of them. Tayo! Tayo! Before I read.
I was trying to... Be careful!
Go! But they're lying. They're lying, Andre. Join us, and together we could...
He's just a kid!
Alive, bruv.
They can go.
What are you doing? You think that's enough?
You all right?
You okay? Look at me. You're safe now.
He'll stop bleeding.
He's scared.
Hey. She tried to... All right, let's just see if this device is working.
No choice, he was gonna kill us all. I had to rerun time. Help! No, please, no. Please. Ah!
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah.
I'm going to the future. Took her from me.
You won't regret it.
Next time, what did I get in return?
My activation.
Things your way.
When Crazy does show up, Sabrina attempts to scare him into telling her where Charlene is. He teases her by revealing that they think Charlene is the one with the powers and that the institution got the incorrect sister. An unseen Tazza interrupts them with intentions to murder Crazy. As Dion waits in the car, she witnesses the agents approaching through a portal. It's too late for her to warn them. Crazy leads the agents in their attack. He can take the powers of others, thus yes, he too possesses powers. Our men do not back down, and throughout the chaos, we see that Andre is one of the agents who lost his disguise. He isn't entirely on board, though, because he disagrees with Crazy's use of violence. Mike tries to persuade Andre that they are the good people after recognizing him. Crazy chokes Tazza at that same time, preparing to murder him, but Andre intervenes. After Sabrina eliminates the other agents, Crazy and our guys are facing off. When Crazy finds himself cornered, he attempts to work out a compromise. Because they all want to go to the institution in order to save Charlene, he can take them there together. Reaching to take the portal clicker from Crazy, Rod falls for it. When he gets near enough, Crazy snatches his power by slitting his throat with a concealed dagger. Using his incredible speed, he stabs everyone. Michael bleeds gradually as Sabrina, Tazza, Rod, and Andre all pass away instantaneously. Michael yells for Dion as Crazy approaches her. Abruptly, he flashes back to Crazy closing the transaction. To everyone's amazement, Mike stabs Crazy before Rod can approach. Mike is being shot at by a wounded Crazy while the superheroes are preoccupied. Dion, who is waiting behind the group, gets struck by the gunshot that goes farther because Rod pulls him aside in time. After losing his abilities, Michael rushes to dying Dion. After a few days, Michael eventually regains his abilities, but it is too late for him to turn back time and save Dion. He promises the others that he will go into the future and figure out a way to destroy the facility as payback. Supacell Episode 6's epilogue shows Charlene being taken hostage. Crazy gets fixed up by the institution, but after failing to complete his task, they murder him. It comes to light that Ray was the one who freed Crazy from prison so he could take on the role of drug lord in South London. Victoria arrives from Health and Unity, the sickle cell treatment facility, just as Ray is leaving. She declares they will follow her lead as she is dissatisfied with Ray.